Welcome to Coffee with Charles. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on what time you are catching this program. Karibu sana. So today we are going to be looking at a question relating how people deal with losses. And so stick back, cause coming up, most of us have fallen into these con games. And you put in a lot of money. Just before you take out a shop, before you rent out an office, before you are promised a trip, before someone says they're going to give you a job outside Kenya, why don't you find out whether that company exists? Who are they? Have they done that before? Do they have a testimonial that they have done that for others? Welcome back. This is Coffee Charles, and my name is Charles Washira. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Leave a comment down there, or if you have a question, you can use the WhatsApp number on the screen now. Also, remember to hit the notification button so that when YouTube releases this kind of content, they'll alert you. All right? So let's get to the question at hand. And there's something that a lot of us have gone through and will relate with this. I recently lost a lot of money because someone told me to invest in farming. But since then, I leased a piece of land, put up costly farm expenditure, but it turned that the person who leased me the land was not the real owner. Now the owner came and chased me, therefore losing the whole agribusiness in one day. So there's this story of this guy. He lost a lot of money because he went to plug into a business idea, and at times this kind of money is lost because he had put a lot of expenditure, but only a technicality, something very small, spoiled the whole idea. What it would have been, we don't know. What it would have amounted to, we don't know. How much profit it would have made, we don't know, because this idea was just dead when he had just started, just because he didn't do some diligent search on who the owner was. So just to give you context, if you want to be a farmer today, you don't have to own land. There are people who have land and they are not using it. There are people who are not interested in farming. Maybe they have a land in Oshago or a land somewhere far and they don't really use it. So they lease it out. And mainly these leases run for a year. And within that 1 year, you can renew if you want another year. But basically, you do what you need to do there, plant crops or put up structures to raise cows and produce milk or pigs or chicken, whatever you want to do with the land. But it's a wise idea, instead of going to a bank and getting a lot of money to go buy some piece of land and then trying out agriculture, then you fail, it will be costly to pay that money back to the bank. So some advice is that basically you come out, lease some land, and then when you lease that land, you actually go and do and try your idea out. So this guy did that, he tried it out, but what messed him up is that he never got to know that the guy who leased the land was not the real owner. And these things happen. So by watching this program, you are going to save yourself some of these problems that come along with this. So the first thing, you are getting out there to do something, you need to be careful about the legality of things. You know, this land is owned by someone. You must get to know the owner. And good enough in those rural areas or in these places that he's leasing, their neighbors, probably their neighbors who live around there. You know, go ask them. Especially out there in the rural, people know each other. So ask them, who owns this land? They know who owns it. They know who has been there, whether it's idle land or not, they know. So when you come to them, ask them. Don't ask the guy saying it's mine, because nowadays people pose as the owners of a land, including selling it to people who are unsuspecting of what that person wants. So guess what? You are in there, you have not asked for a title deed, you have not confirmed the ownership. Even if someone flashes a title deed, you must go back and see, is this the real owner? And for some project like this, the best way is just to confirm. Going around there and asking those people, is this the real owner? Or even maybe do a search if it's massive. If it's a massive investment, it's worth going even to search whether that person who is telling you it's his land is real. And let me tell you, most of us have fallen into these con games, and you put in a lot of money. I just saw a farmer, a very old farmer, a very experienced farmer, who was conned by a very young person of a title deed. And the whole conmanship was that he actually did not do due diligence of what he was promised, that this title was going to do. I think he was promised a lot of returns on money. And one of the things they use to fool you, one of the things they use, con artists, is to make sure that you see the bargain, the reward. It's incredible. But as usual, the old saying says that be careful when it is too good. So if something sounds too good to be true, probably it's not true, because there are very few things. In fact, as I say, there is nothing really for free. So if somebody is, the price of leasing land is about 6,000 per acre per year, something like that, and then someone is just telling you, just give me 2K per acre. You may need to question why it's going that low. Is he desperate, or is he just taking your money to discover tomorrow it's not your land and you've already put the tractor, the irrigation, mechanism, and then you're being told to get out? What a loss. And especially if you had borrowed a loan, what a loss it will be. So my advice to you is do your due diligence, do your homework. Ask relevant questions. Research. Go to those offices where these titles are, can be searched, the lands office. Make sure you get the correct information. Make sure that you have done everything you can to make sure that the legality of what you're getting into is yours. It's also a joke in town that people have been leased shops by people who didn't own them. You saw a shop there and you thought like, hey, this is a commercial shop, I can use it to sell merchandise. You paid the goodwill, you paid the rent, and at times they ask even for 6 months. You paid even anything you can call not only the deposit and the rent, but also the service charge. You paid everything. And somebody told you, come tomorrow and get the key, only to come tomorrow and find no one there. And even in these new malls, do your due diligence. Who is the owner of that mall? Who are the property managers of that mall? Before you take out a shop, before you rent out an office, before you are promised a trip, before someone says they're going to give you a job outside Kenya, why don't you find out whether that company exists? Who are they? Have they done that before? Do they have a testimonial that they have done that for others? Is it a working? How long has it been there? Because some people just hang out in the mall, wait for you, they pose as a caretaker. And once you give them that money, most of us discover when you are going home, wait a minute, whoa, I've been conned. That light bulb comes on. So if you don't want a light bulb to come on, my friend, do your due diligence and find out the real owner of the property, the farm, or even the car you're about to lease. Otherwise, utajionea cha mtema kuni. This is Coffee with Charles. Until we meet again, remember to like the channel, subscribe, and if you have any question, leave it in the comment section or write a message on the WhatsApp number. Till next time, God bless you.